Good day. My name is Benjamin Akinmoyeje. I am a PhD research student at the Namibia University of Science and Technology, Namibia. I have been fortunate to carry out this study with four amazing female researchers titled Women as Citizen Scientists, Identifying Potential Digital Solutions for Addressing Gender-Based Challenges. This presentation is the outcome of the study. I will look at the methodology, the data analysis, the subsequent findings, and the discussions. Gender-based challenges is a global issue. Despite the awareness, there's been a more difficult outcome of this phenomena in developing countries. Globally, women experience various forms of violence. They include limited access to education, reproductive and sexual health challenges, gender-based violence. And also it must be mentioned that traditional practices harmful to women's health still exist. And these challenges are more difficult in developing countries. There's a need to adopt a participatory measure as an option to try and solve this problem. One of such participatory measure is citizen science approach. This is described as an approach that allows the inclusion of the public, known as non-scientists, to participate in scientific research with the aim of developing a well-informed outcome. The research objectives include to identify and describe the literature on citizen science projects using digital technologies. Identify research gaps in the current literature identified in citizen science research using digital technologies. Finally, propose ways in which existing citizen science approaches can be applied to address gender issues in developing countries. In order to achieve the objective of these studies, a systematic literature review was conducted, and the following academic databases were consulted: ACM Digital Library, IEEE Explore, Science Direct, Scopus, and Google Scholar was used to broaden the search. 528 non-duplicate citations were screened. The following were the inclusion criteria: papers describing digital technologies in citizen science projects were included. Papers published between 2010 and 2020 were included. Papers published in English were included. Conference and journal papers were included. At the end of the day, 508 papers were excluded. Studies published before 2010 were excluded. Comment and opinion papers were excluded. Review papers were excluded. Citizen science projects outside the context of digital technologies were excluded. 20 articles were reviewed. And the data analysis carried out were thematic analysis. Of the 20 papers that met the inclusion criteria, 15 of them had mobile phones, cameras, mobile applications, and social media. 3 of the papers used web applications. Information system technology and video technology both had 1 paper each. 12 conference papers were involved, and additionally 8 papers were journal articles. The key findings of this study are as follows. Various technologies and platforms have been used to support citizen science projects, just as shown by the outcomes. There's been depth study of the use of SMS and USSD in exploring solutions for citizen science projects. Mobile and web-based technologies are unsuitable for rural citizen science research projects. There is dearth of citizen science projects in the areas related to gender-based challenges, very limited in number. There is dearth of study on mobile applications adopting machine learning or even artificial intelligence techniques for prediction. Outcome of existing web intervention on gender-based challenges in developing countries still need further exploration and in-depth research. Some of the discussion points include violence against women. Digital technology can be useful in sending information during attacks or predicted attacks. This citizen science research can really be useful in this area. In the area of limited access to girls' education, mapping areas where girl child experience limited education or lack of access to education can be easily mapped through sending of data to the appropriate authority to inform their decision to know the areas where there's lacking educational infrastructure or education resources for girl child. Reproductive and sexual health issues, apps for remote reporting of reproductive and sexual health questions to health workers can really be useful in distance location where there are not readily available health workers. And in the aspect of traditional harmful practices to women's health, SMS and USSD and social media platform can be very instrumental in tracking and report to authorities where these harmful practices still occur. 71% of human trafficking victims are from developing countries, and the majority of them happen to be women who also use low-cost technologies. The use of USSD and SMS can come in handy in a citizen science research project. Finally, empowering women financially through the use of digital technology platforms can be very helpful through disbursing of funds or building their capacity to earn some income. In conclusion, citizen science research is a vital approach and source of data to address challenges faced by women as citizens. Citizen science methodology applications in diverse fields have applied digital technologies. Some research questions that need to be answered by women as citizen scientists include: how can women in developing countries be involved in identifying most prevalent issues relating to reproductive and sexual health? How can people in developing countries be involved in reporting and notifying appropriate authorities about violence among women and girls using digital technologies in the most discreet manners? The study also described other ways women could utilize digital technologies to solve problems pertinent to women. Empowering citizens as part of the research should be fundamental towards conveying value and stability in research knowledge area, as well as contributing to social issues. Findings could inform government and non-government agencies. However, there were some limitations in this study. The number of search terms might have affected the number of papers retrieved and might have had an impact on the findings of the study. And that brings me to the end of this presentation. I want to appreciate you for your attention and for your time. I look forward to your questions and feedback. Thank you.